Hey there. How's everybody doing? Brad here. Just a quick go over on what I think everybody knows and has been feeling. Something's out of place, and not everybody is sure. There's the COVID stuff going on, and there's a lot of split decisions, opinions and that in there, and nobody's quite sure. But I came across a video and I wanted to share it with you because it kind of puts it all in order. Basically, the gist of it is this. We know globally, the economies in everywhere, the countries are strapped. The reason that is we have spent more, not just governments, but as people, so my debt is higher than what I could actually pay if I needed to pay it off tomorrow. That's the thing. And everybody's like that, and the whole country's like that, and the world is like that. And what's happened is they're worried about a monetary collapse, a failure. So they want to start a one world bank and government and all of this stuff. And it's all just kind of a big conspiracy when you think about it. Well, anyway, there's this video here, and we won't play the whole thing because they really get into some stuff that maybe not a lot of people would agree with. But let's listen to part of it here. I'm going to switch over to my other display, and there you go. And let's listen to what she has to say here.
Show, and people really wanted to know more about what you were talking about. And obviously the key message that you were giving was about the vaccine passports. So what's going on?
They're not vaccine passports. They are data passports. They are participation passports, but there's no medical reason behind these. If I had come to you 2 years ago and said, here's what the government want to do. They want to give everybody a chip. They want to put all your medical data and all your financial data onto that chip. That will be your complete ID, and they can control you or shut you out of society from that. Ideally, they'd like to put a quantum tattoo so that they can remotely medicate you. That sounds absolutely insane. That's the road that we are going down right now. This is about a financial reset because the fiat currency has failed like every other one has before. And in order to keep the game going, they need a new financial system. This is why everybody, no exceptions, has to get one of these passports. This is why there's a drive to get absolutely everybody vaccinated. It's for the new system.
So what's this all been about then in terms of, when they're calling it COVID and, they're saying it's to keep people safe, etc. So has it had nothing to do with that at all?
Nobody seems to be asking why. If you ask somebody, if you stand outside one of these bars and say, why are you using this passport? Nobody has an answer for why. It's certainly not a medical decision. If it doesn't stop you from getting it, doesn't stop you from passing it on. That has been, the CDC have come out with that, Bill Gates have come out with that, Fauci has come out with that, Boris Johnson have come out, they've all come out and announced that. This clinical trial is nothing more than a treatment to reduce symptoms. At best, that's what it has the potential to do. So why would you need a passport to get into somewhere? You would think that would be linked to transmission, so that if taking part in this clinical trial stopped transmission, then there would be a logic behind that. But there's absolutely no data to support that. It's not about anything medical. This is an economic decision, not a medical decision.
This is the scary part.
Why do they have to reset? Like what's been going on behind the scenes, or in the last? Well, I know we had a crash in 2008. So has it been since then? Is this what this is about?
From 1971, we have been on a debt base. That's when the dollar came off. The dollar being the reserve currency came off, the gold standard. We entered into a debt-based economy. That has collapsed under its own weight. In 2019, September, there was a crisis in the repo market. It got more and more difficult. That could have been manipulated. There was liquidity pulled out. but that's a different story.
So it's an interesting timing though, isn't it? I mean, September 2019, and then the next thing we know.
Yeah, you had the Bill Gates event 201 after that. This is a banking crisis. Every fiat currency in history, and there have been thousands,
This is the scary part.
have
Yep.
returned to zero. This is where we are with the pound and the dollar have already lost over 99% of their value. They're just going to eradicate the other 1%. This is why the money is being printed. The money is being printed so that the central banks can give it out to the hedge fund companies, asset management firms. They're buying up all the actual assets while we are being paid to stay at home and say nothing.
So the central bank, because what I've heard about obviously is it's a central bank digital currency. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between that then and a fiat currency? Like if this is another reset, is it going to be the same story or is this going to be different?
The central bank digital currency is the end game.
Okay.
Along with totalitarian control. In order to bring in a central bank digital currency, you need a digital ID. In order to bring in a digital ID, you need these passports. That will all be combined with a social credit system and a carbon credits system. Central bank digital currency has all the good aspects of a fiat currency for the government and nothing of what is good for us. The only benefit we have of a fiat currency is basically it's backed by nothing. It's a currency because the government say it is so. What we gain from that is privacy. That's what we are going to lose when we move into a central bank digital currency, and they're going to have complete control over every aspect of our finances. They can dictate where in the economy that you can spend it. They can say that you can only spend it in essential goods or on rent. They can fine you at will. They have complete control over every aspect of your finances. Now, when you
This
link
is
that
the
into
scary part.
a social credits concept, they can sanction you or reward you. This has already been trialled in, I think, a province in northern China, where you go from a AAA rating down to a D rating. AAA, you get preference for jobs, your children get preference for schooling. D, they can take your qualifications off you.
They can take your qualifications.
They can take your qualifications.
So they can
Now, isn't that interesting? So that's kind of what I wanted to go or to share with you today. It's because to me, if this is true, which it makes total sense to me, that this is what's been happening globally, and they're worried about a crash of the markets and everything else because we have way too much debt, and they want to go digital currency. They've been pushing the bitcoins and stuff like that, right? That's all just test to see how we're going to handle that. And then with the you could say that maybe the virus was released intentionally to get things going. I don't know if that's a bit of a conspiracy thought or not, but holy macro, like, it sounds like what she's saying is we are already lined up to be communistically controlled. They call it social credit. So we'll be paid to sit at home. We will own nothing. The government has to take all the properties and everything to try and cover all of this debt or something, I guess. I don't know. It sounds like a billionaire sweepstake to me. But anyway, it's pretty scary stuff, and that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today, was just this short video about that. And that's it. Sorry about the bad news, but this is something we all need to think about. And if it comes down to, at the end of the video, if you want this, you can ask me for it, and I can send you the whole video. But I've already put it on Facebook and that. But if this is true, what she says at the end is the only thing we can do is to not comply and to resist. And so that starts with not wearing a mask, not getting into the passport thing, and not complying, businesses not complying, refusing, and because they say, she says there too, it's a mandate, it's not a law, and so it kind of comes down to, I guess everybody has to choose for themselves, right? Anyway, Brad, and I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye for now.